Hi, I'm Jan Kowalski with Greenslate I, and tonight I'm joined by Committeeman Kevin Bailey. Welcome, Kevin.
Hey, thank you very much for allowing me to be here with you today.
This is a live interactive show on CanTV Channel 21, and we're also streaming online at cantv.org/hotline. And tonight we're going to find out more about what Kevin Bailey's up to these days. And of course, for the next 25 minutes, this is an interactive show. You're more than welcome to call in with any comments, questions, or concerns, or just to say hi to Kevin. And of course, the number is at the bottom of your screen. It should be 312-738-1060. Now, I'm Jan Kowalski McDonald, and I'm here on behalf of Greenslate I Incorporated. Let me tell you a little bit about Greenslate I. Greenslate I is dedicated to assisting ex-convicts. They have any number of programs to help ex-cons, including reentry programs, feeding the families of Inglewood. They also have a Kirby's Kids Camp, and last but not least, my favorite is they have a community service program that's been certified through the Circuit Court of Cook County. So if you have any community service hours you need to fulfill, please contact Greenslate. And let me show you the information for Greenslate. There it is. Hopefully you can read this. Greenslate can be reached at 217-600-1846. They have a website which is Greenslate Institute, the number 4, justice@weebly.com. And you can email them at greenslateinstituteforjustice@gmail.com. And I'm Jan Kowalski McDonald. And for those viewers who are not familiar with Polish surnames, let me show you what that looks like. That's Kowalski McDonald. Now, here I've got a picture of coal. That's a piece of coal, just like Santa gives out to bad boys and girls. Coal. And here's a wall. And last but not least, I've got my skis. So when you put the coal and the wall and the skis together, you get Kowalski. And here's my little mascot. He's a cute little koala bear, and he's giving you the thumbs up. Now, some of you are dying to say Kawasaki. No, it's not Kawasaki like the motorcycle. It's Kowalski. And of course, here's my koala bear, and he's giving you a thumbs up. And now, let me introduce you to Kevin Bailey. Hi, Kevin.
Hey, how's it going?
All right. Maybe you can tell our viewers a little bit about yourself.
Well, first, I love creativity, and that was awesome what you just did there. I really thought that was a really good way to break it down. So I'm Kevin Bailey, 20th Ward Democratic Committeeman, and my major role is really advocating for the community from a political standpoint. And as far as professional goes, I'm a civil engineer by degree in trade.
Oh my goodness, I had no idea.
Yep.
My dad was a civil engineer too.
Yep. And I also did 2 Division I sports. I ran track and played football for the University of Illinois.
Oh, no kidding, in Urbana-Champaign?
Yep, absolutely.
Fantastic. I also went to Urbana-Champaign.
Oh, well, that's nice. So yeah, that's a little bit about my background in general. From college, I went to work at a major railroad company where I ended up being an assistant director, and I headed and led the high-speed rail that President Obama commissioned when he was in office, and I also ran the metro system here in Chicago. So I have a very good operational background. I've worked with unions, and I had a very good reputation with them. I had about 600 employees when the time I left before I moved into the tech space where I am now. But while I maintain a full-time professional career, I still come and do full-time work in the community and have a service office. So I'm one of the few committeemen who are not an elected governmental official that has an office for the community to come in, conduct community meetings, block club meetings, and we generally educate the community on what a committeeman is, what they do, what important role they play, and how they can empower the people to better engage with their government.
Well, Kevin, don't be shy. Tell our viewers, how do they get in touch with you? I do have a phone number, the ward office, the website, the address.
Absolutely. So our ward office is located at 6248 South St. Lawrence, and the phone number is 773-599-7582. Again, that is 773-599-7582. 7582, and the major cross streets is 63rd and St. Lawrence. You can also email us at 20thwarddemocrats@gmail.com, and the website is 20thwarddemocrats.com.
Fantastic. Well, what's going on in the 20th Ward these days?
Well, we have a lot of things going on in the 20th Ward, and just one of the things to highlight is that we actually have a dance team, a cheer dance team. It's called the Kevin Bailey Dance Cheer
No,
Team.
you've got a dance cheer team? That's awesome.
Absolutely. It starts off.
That's not you dancing and cheering, I'm assuming.
No, I am a big advocate of the performing arts, and I also help sponsor it along with some coaches from the community. It's a real community effort. We just need to come together and unify so we can get the proper resources and adults engaged in the process to make sure that our youth have an outlet. So it starts about 3 years old, and right now our oldest is about 14, and they learn dance routines, cheer routines. They perform and compete in nationals, and I think our ladies got third most recently in nationals.
But you didn't bring them with. How come you didn't bring them with?
Actually, they're preparing for another event that we're putting together for some of the ward members. It's in collaboration with Miss Nikita Nicky, Allison Jordan, and it's called the Sundress Festival, which will be located in Montrose Harbor next weekend. And we're trying to get 1,000 people out there, especially for our seniors, to make sure that they're able to go out there and see the city from a different angle and engage with historic rappers such as MC Lyte, singers like Kelly Price, as well as a younger millennial rapper named Lil Mama. So
Fantastic. So all the seniors are invited to attend that?
they are.
And what day does that go?
That is they just recently rescheduled it for a week back. It was this weekend, the 21st, so it's being moved to the 28th.
Well, let me ask you,
July.
do you have a website for the 20th Ward?
Yes, I do. Well, the 20th Ward Democratic organization, that's the 20th Ward Democratic headquarters, has a website. It's 20thwarddemocrats.com. But if any of the seniors are interested in joining, they can call the office at 773-599-7582, RSVP, and we'll identify one of the 4 locations within a ward that you can get picked up, taken there at 9 a.m. and be back by 2 p.m. But it's going to be a wonderful location. We have a tent, definitely associated with myself, Committeeman Kevin Bailey, to show the residents in the community they have access to all the resources that the city has to offer. But there will be other places for like kids to play. There will be a range of tents and some live music as well.
And let me reiterate, is this free?
So for the seniors, it is free because,
All right, where do I catch that bus? What time?
Well, it's varying locations, and whenever people call in RSVP, we'll give them the locations.
Fantastic. Kevin, we've got a caller. Caller,
Sure.
do you have a question or comment for Kevin Bailey?
Yes, Ms. Kowalski, this is Ray.
Hi, Ray. How are you?
Oh, great. And I have a question to ask the alderman there.
No, not
Sure.
the alderman, not yet.
Not
Perhaps,
yet.
Kevin, perhaps
Well-
you can answer Ray's question there.
Sure.
Believe me, if I call him alderman, he's going to be the alderman.
Oh, how about that? Look at that. Ray's
thank
already
you.
voting for you.
Thanks, Ray.
But, when you do get in, can you please help these ex-convicts, the people that are in Cook County, the jail, with something to do when they get out? Like maybe building something for them so they can go to a trade school,
Absolutely.
so that they'll have something to fall back on. If they don't, they're just going to go back into the street, do the same old stuff. But if they could get a foot in that door, believe me, they'll go straight.
Absolutely.
They have a
And
job.
it's interesting that you bring that up. Since I was 19, the first time that I started to develop a workforce program was actually in collaboration with the transitional facility. So I have a background in helping aid people from incarceration background, substance abuse, domestic abuse, just violence in general. And we rehabilitate the various peoples from all walks of life to ensure that they have some pipeline.
You know what, sir? I knew there was something I liked about you. Please run right, and keep it in mind.
Absolutely.
For these guys a place so that they don't have to worry about these.
Absolutely. And it's
All right, sir.
Thank you, Ray. I appreciate it.
All right. Okay, Ms. Kowalski.
All right, so Ray, you want... Oh, I'm sorry, we've got another caller. Caller, do you have a comment or question for Kevin Bailey?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Do you have a comment or question for Kevin Bailey?
Yes, Jan, I'm so proud of you that you're back again this year with your star-studded guest. You have one of my favorite soon-to-be aldermen Mr. Bailey on. How are you, Mr. Bailey? I almost called you Dr. Bailey.
I'm doing good. Thank you for the praises.
Well, Jan, I tell you, you're going to have a quick show because Mr. Bailey is full of great ideas for the 20th Ward, and he's going to be running. I just wanted to call and congratulate you both and let you guys know that we're listening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is it Ziff? Is it Ziff? Caller? I think we lost our caller.
Gotcha.
Oh, wait, there we are. Do we have a caller? Do we have a comment or question for Mr. Bailey?
Yes, actually I have two questions. One is, I heard the other gentleman mention trades, and I know I've reached out to a lot of incumbent aldermen about Chicago Vocational School and Rahm Emanuel closing it and, putting on this pretend with STEM programs. I'm wondering, what do you think about that, and how do you think that would affect the 20th Ward? And number two, with Democrats and Republicans failing minorities so bad, why do you think we still are holding the flag of Democrats and Republicans?
Wow.
Okay.
Great questions. Great questions. All right, Kevin, dig on in there.
So let's start off with the craft. So throughout high school, I actually did a lot of carpentry. I was an assistant foreman that rehabbed homes when they needed to be resold and they were bought by the bank or the other person. I would go in, actually gut it out, and put things back together. And I think that's an extremely important trait. Not only does it build character and teach you how to maintain your home, but you also have a skill set that you can always fall back on. And that's what led me into civil engineering. So not only did I actually have the practical hands-on experience, but I went and studied as well. So I think it's important to have vocations in these crafts. You can have all the school and education that you want and have all the equations, but you still need that person that understands how to lay the brick, how to put the plumbing in and the electricity. There has to continuously be an ecosystem of education and hands-on practical experience. So you can count on the 20th Ward being a well-rounded community with the ecosystem robust enough to develop the workforce, to build the community that we actually need.
Well, Kevin, I'm going to jump in here. What programs are there now in the 20th Ward to facilitate that? Are there any job training programs? Or?
Well, there are a number of programs that are acting in ad hoc ways where there's no holistic across the board. The ward goes essentially from like Damon to Stony Island. So across the entire ward, there is an organization that's organizing and making sure that there's a pipeline for employment for the community members so far. So we're going to make sure that we challenge that and take that task on.
All right, so where do you see the future of the 20th Ward?
Well, I think the 20th Ward is extremely well positioned. Number one, the Chicago in general is the number one transportation hub in the country.
I believe you.
Right?
Absolutely.
And my background is actually in TNT, travel and transportation.
I didn't think that was TNT. I thought that was something else.
Travel and transportation.
Travel and transportation, yes. TNT, gotcha.
Yeah. So it's well positioned.
I don't remember that
it's
one.
close to the lake. It's close to the beach, the lagoons, the future presidential library, public transportation, the Red Green Line and Metro, the Lakeshore Drive, and the Dan Ryan. The 20th Ward is super well positioned to make sure that you not only have robust areas to work and play, but to live and enjoy the wonderful parks such as Washington Park, Sherman Park, and so forth. So what's in the future for the 20th Ward? A solid business ecosystem, a solid housing ecosystem to where we meet people where they are. If you are in the mood to have a one bedroom, we need to have that there and take you through your entire life cycle. You meet someone special, move into a home. We want to ensure that our stakeholders in our communities are well supported and that they have a responsive governmental official willing to advocate on their behalf.
Kevin, I think we've got a comment or a caller. Do you have a caller?
Actually, yes. This is me again.
Hi again. I think we lost you there. I'm glad you called back.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that those two questions were answered. One was, what do you think about Chicago Vocational being torn down, basically tearing out all of the shops? And then two, I was asking again about why do minorities who have been neglected by the Republican and Democratic Party still hold the flag of Democrats or Republicans? And the reason why I asked that, this last voting election, I went to vote in the 20th Ward, and I was told that I could only get a Democratic ballot or a Republican ballot. And that's a problem, because now people are telling me that I have to sort of become in some type of gang when I vote. I can't say that I like the treasurer, he's a Republican, and I like the comptroller and they're a Democrat. I have to do some type of gang format. And the reason why I asked about CVS is because I grew up, before I moved to the 20th Ward, I grew up down the street from it. And a lot of children were able to progress through different trades, and now that it's been taken away, I can tell the difference in that community. And so when I ask about that school, I want to answer for that, and then I want to answer about the Democrats. And I also heard you mention Sherman Park. Sherman Park has $480,000 worth of damages. You can't even drive through there. I mean, I'm actually, I wanted to set up a meeting with you because I'm actually going to run for 20th Ward Alderman as well. Not to run against you, but just to run. I think all of us who are people that are sincere about becoming elected officials, I think with the low precinct numbers for voting, we all need to encourage the community to become active as far as voting. I think also, too, the larger number that you have, it helps you when you go to City Hall and try to work out things for us. If you have a high percentage, at least over 35%, which are things that we haven't had in a long time. So I wish you well as a candidate, and I think you're a good brother. I know you've tried to do some positive things, and I'm actually doing a lot of things in the 20th Ward right now. But I really want to get those questions answered. The one about CVS, because it kind of affects the whole city, because I know people from 20th Ward that went to CVS and across the city, and the Democratic and Republican question.
Hold on, I'm going to stop Kevin. Kevin, before you answer those two great questions, thank you, caller, I wanted to remind you that you're watching Greenslate I live on CanTV Channel 21 and cantv.org/hotline. And tonight we're joined by Kevin Bailey, the current committeeman of the 20th Ward. And once again, if you have any questions for Mr. Bailey, please call in at the number at the bottom of your screen. Now back to you, Kevin.
Sure thing. Well, let's talk about those parties. I think one of the major problems in general in communities of color is that there are so many different people running for office instead of coalescing and understanding what interests they want to focus on and ensure the person that is actually in the front or that's working, figuring out how to support that person and make sure that they have your interest in carrying that water, regardless of the party that you're affiliated with. So, and it depends on if you're talking about general or primary election, who the names on the ballot are. So if you are in the primary portion of it, both parties want to essentially consolidate their vote for one particular person. So in the next portion of the election, such as the upcoming election in November for governor, then you'll have both parties on the same ballot. So it just depends.
Let me just jump in there. I don't suppose, are you on the ballot for the November election?
No, as a matter of fact, I'll be on the ballot in February.
Of February of 2019.
Yeah, 2019. And I have the campaign kickoff, the official announcement and launch of my campaign for 20th Ward Alderman next week, July 26th, at the 20th Ward Democratic headquarters.
Which is on 62nd in St. Lawrence?
6248 South St. Lawrence from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
And if I need more information, I can call?
You can call 773-599-7582.
All right. And did we answer the caller's question, the second question? The first one was about the CVS, and the second one was about how the leaders have let down the people.
Right. Yeah, we definitely, and how the people need to unify, because it's so, the structure that's in power are in place right now thrives whenever there's division. So if you unify, you can speak as a unit and as one voice, and you get things to you a lot quicker. The more and more we divide, the more it's harder to get our interests met.
Well, what do you think the priorities are for the 20th Ward? The priorities, other than consolidating?
Well, there's always, I consider to be 4 pillars of quality of life, which is economic development, public safety, health and human services, and of course education. And under those major ideas, you have things such as the violence and the crime. We have shootings on a consistent basis. Just close to the community not too long ago, we had an ATF agent shot, killed in the back of the yards area.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's awful.
It is. But we have to get more unified as a unit, as a community, in order to combat that and partner up with our ladies and our ladies and gentlemen that's in the community, concerned citizens. When we come together, we can make the change with and without the police officers being engaged. So we can make that thing happen. On the other end, unemployment is extremely rampant, 60 to 75% unemployment throughout the community. So we have to have a robust workforce development plan, a solid business ecosystem. As development comes in, we need to make sure that those contracts are going to our local entrepreneurs and the local businesses, ensuring that they're not being pushed out. And as a matter of fact, we've helped, since I've been elected here, we've helped establish a couple of different businesses that's within the 20th Ward. And since I have the skill set to work with a number of companies in the private sector, I've been helping to consult a number of companies looking to purchase and establish their headquarters in the 20th Ward so
All
far.
right, Kevin, I think we have another caller. Do we have another caller?
Yes, Ms. Kowalski.
Hi again, Ray.
Yes, I have a question for the alderman there. You know, I'm heartbroken. I graduated from Bowen High School in 1966.
What'd you say, Bogan?
Bowen, B-O-W.
Oh, Bowen, okay.
And it was like a rival to CBS. They used to have 7,000 students at one time.
No kidding, that's a huge school.
Oh, it's really, really, really big. You know what gets me? They had the best shops. I don't care which one you wanted. They even had an aviation class with an airplane in the hangar.
That's fantastic. Wait, that's gone nowadays, right?
Yeah, and I'm so disappointed. Sir, please do something about this. That school, which was my rival, but I loved that school so much because I had a lot of friends that went there, and you know, we used to mingle together. So please, tell them quit. Then you wonder why the kids don't want to go to school. They don't, you know, some of them aren't ready for college.
Yeah. I mean, as a person...
Yes, the shops taught them how to, you know, react.
But it's not only that, the shops can teach you life skills, how to deal with someone on a real-time basis, kind of like in the workforce, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And as a person who works with some of the what they call bleeding technologies, which is just ahead of innovative technologies, I see that there's a different type of craft that's on the horizon and that we need to prepare for. As you see data become more pervasive and technology becomes more accessible to everyone, the craft portion of all this technology is still very relevant, and there's a lot of opportunity. So we do need to establish those vocations because there's a great lifestyle in living, working in trades, and it's a fantastic profession.
Oh, Kevin, I think we have another caller. Caller, do you have a comment or question for Mr. Bailey?
Hi, are you speaking to me?
Yes, do you have a comment or question for Kevin Bailey?
Hi, my name is Jeanette. Yes, I would like to talk to him about these corporations and the digital data and the way that the technology corporations are destroying people's lives by providing rocket fuel over America's right to privacy and exploiting our data. And Apple Computer is draining the batteries at various speeds of all their products.
Jeanette, absolutely. Kevin, you know, you're hopefully running for alderman in February. What concerns do you have about privacy for the 20th Ward citizens?
Well, the privacy of the U.S. in general, let me say, because from what I do on a professional level, I'm able to see the difference in privacy laws around the world. And I can tell you that the U.S. is not one of the most safe in general.
No, they're really, really bad. In fact, I tried to talk to Robert E. Lotta, chairman of the Subcommittee on Digital Commerce and Consumer Protection today, Greg Walden, the chairman of the
Sure,
subcommittee.
and that's why it's important to...
It is important to do that, absolutely, Kevin. I think privacy has to be the #1 concern for all the residents.
But it's definitely...
not only privacy. Do you realize what these corporations are doing? They're draining the battery of the iPhone.
Jeanette, can we have Kevin respond to your question?
Okay.
Yeah, so... you know, that's why it's important to unify locally. If you unify locally, you have thousands of people saying that they will not stand for the invasion of privacy or the selling of our personal identification data, then that forces your congressman to act. And therefore it changes the rules in the way that we engage these various corporations when it comes to handling our private information.
So if we gain together, then it's going to have a profound impact on our privacy concerns. That's absolutely right. Jeanette, thank you for your question. We're going to have to wrap up now, but I just wanted to give Kevin a last opportunity to address the voters of the 20th Ward.
Well, absolutely. Thank you again for allowing me to come to speak with you all today. I appreciate the call-ins. Again, I'm Kevin Bailey, 20th Ward Democratic Committeeman, and I will be a candidate for 20th Ward Alderman starting July 26th. And please, if you feel like you want to help challenge the status quo, as we've been doing for the last few years, making sure that community members are being advocated for, that we're unifying under one voice. So when it comes time to influence our government to make a better difference in our lives, we understand that we can make that happen because we're powerful, and teamwork makes the dream work. So feel free to contact me.
And what's that number?
773-599-7582. And I'm always at 6248 South St. Lawrence at the 20th Ward Democratic headquarters.
And thank you all for watching and participating in today's show. And of course, I'm Jan Kowalski McDonald with Greenslate I. And my guest tonight has been Mr. Kevin Bailey, the current committeeman for the 24th. Thank you, Kevin, for being here.
Thank you.
And tonight, my technician has been Pookie, and my executive producer is Ziv Sistrunk. So thank you, and have a good night.